there on Monday, but rain chances, they return on Tuesday. Our latest forecast is at CWG.news/latest with our cute little squirrel having a snack there. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com, but the good news is if you are an autumnal fall-like weather lover, it is coming behind the cold front that's moving through our region in the mid-Atlantic on Tuesday into Tuesday night. Wednesday onward could be sublime, spectacular fall weather here in DC. So we do have that to look forward to. Maybe just the slightest of spikes during this rain chance on Tuesday into Tuesday night. We could see some dew points near the mid-60s again. But hey, it's brief. We're going to feel good for most of the week, except maybe later on Tuesday into Tuesday night when, yes, we could see some rain chances develop, some showers, some storms. But do we, as this cold front comes in, do we see the chance for widespread strong storms? No, but we're going to keep it in the back of our minds. This is our main weather maker this week, this cold front on Tuesday. So storms, yeah, they're possible. They're possible Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, perhaps. Outside chance of a couple strong storms, but we'll keep an eye on it at CapitalWeatherGang.com. So far, we're in pretty good shape, and we could use a little bit of rain as well. Peter, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are well. All right, again, for the latest, go to CWG.news/latest right there. If I can get the pointing down, there it is our latest forecast there on CapitalWeatherGang.com. So what else do we have potentially tomorrow? Maybe a little bit of a breeze, not too much to speak of. It's a nice day overall. Maybe low 80s is kind of the general temperature range that we're looking at. So a breeze around 15 miles an hour. It won't be steady and strong all day, but should be generally pretty refreshing. Hello, David. Thanks for tuning in. Zena, hello. And Paul is glad summer's over. So am I, at least for now. I mean, it's summer, a little bit of summer feels tomorrow, just a little bit, since we do have, yes, a nice day stamp I'm going to flash here for you. But it is in the low 80s, the top end of our kind of nice day stamp criteria range, but it's very autumnal after this cold front moves through Tuesday night. So Wednesday onward, I think that will be a little more refreshing, a little cooler or drier, typical for this time of year, maybe even a little below average for this time of year. So really fall gets going rather than some of this is arguably late summer right now that we're experiencing. And that's okay. I'm not going to complain. I mean, these dew points are pretty darn awesome. I think earlier when I was doing the setup for the broadcast, it was, look at that, 40s and 50s for dew points. Not bad at all. We'll take it. And these should last through tomorrow. But yes, a slight spike in dew points are possible as we get those rain chances back Tuesday into Tuesday night. Mid-60s or so. So a little moist, a little unpleasant, becoming unpleasant. But at least it's short-lived that we see these mid-60s dew points for this week. All right, actually, let me leave up the forecast and that nice day stamp for tomorrow while I take some questions. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com, and our latest forecast is right there at CWG.news/latest. Let's see, we've got Michael is glad we're in for more of the same. You're loving this streak of weather, so am I. We've got Mahia, hiya, thank you for tuning in. That's great. And Peter, you're telling your wife you missed the old school broadcast showing the iPad. I do not miss that. You can hopefully read these much better than when I was flashing my iPad at the screen. I like these embedded in-frame graphics. I hope you do too. But thanks, Peter. Yes, that was a different era for sure. We've got Danny, hello, thanks for tuning in. And Abby, when are the evenings expected to get into the 40s? Perhaps by the end of this week into the weekend outside of the Beltway. That's the good news. What you're seeing here, this forecast at a glance, is for kind of downtown around the Beltway. But for regions north and west of town, I think we could see some 40s on the table by the end of this week for overnight lows. So Abby, I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are as well. Susie, hello. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. This is our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat, our live Q&A. Thanks so much for tuning in every week. I appreciate getting your questions and comments. Let me know if you have anything come to mind as we go through what's coming up this week. Rain chances Tuesday to Tuesday night don't add up to too much. Showers and storms mainly confined to Tuesday and Tuesday night for our weekly accumulation here in this map. Not too much, 0.1, 0.2 inches in the 95 corridor. And yes, while we do have a slight chance of strong storms, especially along 95 and points eastward on Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, you can see here it's generally we're expecting everyday thunderstorms, kind of summer-like pop-up thunderstorms, but 1 or 2 could be strong with some hail, some damaging winds. We'll keep you posted as we get closer. It's not a high confidence or high probability at this time. We'll just wanted to flag that to stay tuned as we get closer. All right, sunset getting earlier and earlier. So our Sunday broadcasts here and Q&As are getting earlier and earlier. Thanks for joining me on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And next week, you'll see me about 10 minutes earlier. We're still losing about 2.5 minutes of day length a day. A daylight per day is we're subtracting 2.5 minutes between sunrise and sunset. And yesterday, you can see here, we're still about a minute off. We just dipped below 12 hours of daylight today. And just FYI, yesterday was our equilux, where we had the exact 12 hours of daylight, which is different than the equinox in these two graphics. Equinox is at the bottom and equilux is there at the top. And we can always thank atmospheric refraction for kind of delaying how we perceive the sun's rays here at the surface. We kind of have a lens around us with this oblong spheroid of an atmosphere and globe around us. So keep that in mind. All right, tropics are brewing, so go for the latest on that at CWG.news/tropics. We've got Sam, and I think we had subtropical storm Teresa turn back into a depression. So it is very active, and it might stay that way through early October. We have to probably get through about mid-October. That's typically a secondary peak in hurricane season before things quiet down a little bit, so keep that in mind. Let's see, we've got Susie and Peter. Hello, thanks for tuning in again. And Charlene, you're hearing rumors about spectacular fall leaf change display this year. It is possible. It is good to have drier conditions as the leaves want to start turning colors, and that should happen. Let's zoom into what we can expect going forward, at least into next work week, precipitation-wise. This is a decently good thing, slightly below average, leaning below average for precipitation next week. And that, of course, as we get shorter daylight, that's when the chlorophyll starts dying in the leaves. We get cooler temperatures that kind of can be the impetus for some of the catalyst for some of the leaf color changes as well, in the chlorophyll dying and revealing those great colors that, yes, they've been there all along, but we have to get the green out of the way to be able to see these leaves that are going to be turning. So Charlene, I haven't heard huge rumors yet, but I'm going to look that up so I'm prepared better when we talk as we get closer to fall foliage season, which is still, gosh, downtown can still be early to mid-November for peak foliage season in Washington, D.C. So keep that in mind. Drought conditions doing okay east of the Mississippi. So here's the last 6 weeks, this animation. Just to give you a picture, we're in much better shape here east of the Mississippi. And it should cycle through. Come on, there it is, September 7th. And then we'll fast forward to today in a short moment, and you'll see we're still in pretty good shape. Even Virginia has been able to get out of the drought. We're just abnormally dry in a few spots along the East Coast, but we're doing all right. Danny, Hurricane Sam, let's get back to that. Great question. It is expected most likely to stay out to sea. And we've got the latest on the tropics and Sam at CWG.news/tropics. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Anytime you need us, 24/7, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. But Sam, the path is expected to kind of skirt the islands, stay northeast of the Leeward and Windward Islands and the Lesser Antilles overall. And we'll have to watch Bermuda into over 5 days from now, maybe into a week from now. But Sam is currently expected, despite being strong, it's expected to stay out to sea at this time. But worth keeping an eye on it. It's right there in the Central Atlantic. No one should be falling asleep at the wheel. We should all be paying attention, keeping one eye open on Sam until it recurves finally out to sea and toward Iceland, Greenland, and as an extratropical storm toward the United Kingdom and Europe. So great question, Danny. Thanks for that. The weather is amazing. Annette, I'm glad you're enjoying this weekend. Let's go back to the forecast, and I can take another reading and show you. Again, nice day tomorrow. I want to blink that and draw your attention to Monday being awesome. And our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest with our cute little squirrel there having a nice snack. Dew points are incredible. 40s right now, super duper comfortable. And we can expect more of that tomorrow. Dew points in the 50s. So yeah, a little bit warm. It's kind of late summer feels when it gets over 80 tomorrow, as expected, in the low 80s generally speaking. But, you know, dew points are going to stay under control until perhaps later Tuesday into Tuesday night. We could see some mid-60s, which is kind of moist and becoming uncomfortable. But it's a quick shot of some muggier dew points, so not too big of a deal. going into even Tuesday into Tuesday night as this cold front is coming toward us. This is kind of our only but main weather maker this week. We've got to deal with this cold front that's coming from the north and northwest, and you can see here in the hashed green we have some showers and storms possible Tuesday into Tuesday night, but we're watching for maybe a couple strong storms. The good news is these should, generally speaking, be everyday type of thunderstorms. Not too heavy, not too long lasting, but we are keeping just a slight eye on things on Tuesday afternoon to Tuesday night, especially along I-95 and points eastward. We could see a couple strong storms with some hail and some gusty, damaging winds, 58 miles per hour or greater in our region. So stay tuned to CapitalWeatherKing.com as we get closer, but rain amounts are not too much. We're not expecting anything too heavy. As you can see here, this is the whole week's worth of accumulating rain expected. Well, actually, this is 72 hours, and this is all I could find for rain this upcoming next 7 days. And it's only adding up to maybe a quarter inch of rain in some spots, maybe a third of an inch if you see a downpour, but not too much rain to speak of this week. And even looking, let's get the right clicks there. There we are. Here's tomorrow's winds. They're kind of under control, just to report that it should feel refreshing. Even if we're in the low 80s, we have some breezes at times, 15, 20 mile per hour gusts, but a little bit less than today. But yeah, it's warmer, and I'll welcome a breeze 15, 20 miles per hour. I kind of like to keep it, subjectively speaking, 15, max 20 miles an hour for a couple wind gusts, but not a big deal. Today was not bad at all. I hope you found it very dry and refreshing. I love that Annette thought that the weather was amazing and used the loving eye emojis. Fantastic. So here's sunset time, sunrise and sunset. Under 12 hours of daylight now. We are losing 2.5 minutes of daylight every day still, so you'll see me next Sunday for these weekly Sunday sunset chats on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook about 10 minutes earlier next Sunday. So hope you can keep joining me as we get into the darker, cooler seasons and these earlier and earlier sunsets. But a fun fact, yesterday was our exact 12-hour daylight day, our equilux, which is slightly different from the equinox. I love this graphic from the New Zealand Weather Service. Equilux is on the top, and that was our exact 12-hour day yesterday. And the equinox, due to refraction, the lens of the atmosphere bending the waves of the light waves of the sun. On the equinox, we had a longer than 12-hour daylight day. So now, yep, we've kind of put the seasonal transition of daylight behind us. It's shrinking, less and less daylight every day. Now let's move on to the tropics really quick. Our latest at CWG.news/tropics, Sam is expected to stay out to sea. We had subtropical storm Teresa go back into a depression and now dissipated, I believe. Not expected to redevelop at this time just yet, but we're keeping an eye on a very active Atlantic. And here is the names. We are down to Victor and Wanda. And yep, we could go into the backup World Meteorological Organization backup name list, which begins with Adria, you can see there. So we'll keep an eye on just how this activity plays out. It is still active perhaps until mid-October. That's when we have one more little bump, a kind of a secondary peak in hurricane season. Diana says, a cool evening in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good morning from Singapore, Narjale. I really appreciate it, Adam. That's great. Thanks so much for tuning in. And Janet, you were looking forward to the dew point display. Excellent. So I can probably give you just a sneak peek while I'm here at the weekend, just to give you more good news. Sprinkle showers can't completely be ruled out this weekend. Generally leaning dry. Leaning awesome, leaning autumnal. Dew points and temperatures may sneak up just a little bit, but I think this weekend is going to be a sublime autumnal splendor overall. I think you can make those outdoor plans pretty safely. We'll keep an eye on things as we get toward the end of the week. Yes, forecast confidence goes down. We could have a 1 or 2 cutoff lows moving opposite directions and crunching us. Hopefully we remain in between here in the mid-Atlantic with some good weather. But look at those temperatures, very comfortable for Saturday. And even looking at temperatures ahead, next work week leaning above average, which is no longer very warm this time of year. And that's kind of the good news. I personally love that we lower these benchmarks. Here is our average high now, 74 degrees by the time we look at next week. Currently, yes, our average still comfortable, 77, but look how in 1 week's time we go down 3 degrees. We are really losing those average daytime temperatures. They're going down pretty quickly now. We're kind of really going down the hill toward late fall into winter. So enjoy what we have while we have it. This is some of the best time of weather year in the mid-Atlantic in Washington, D.C. So when you see above average or leaning above average with these temperatures next week, not too bad. Maybe we'll be near 80. I'll take it. Dew points are generally behaving lately, so at least we have dry, refreshing air to go with these temperatures, and precipitation is leaning dry, below average for next week as well. So again, since we're luckily not in a drought, dry conditions for this week outside of Tuesday and Tuesday night, and next week, not a big deal, not bad. We're doing pretty good with our water situation east of the Mississippi. Even central and western Virginia, they're along the border, like such as Bath County, that is no longer in a drought. It's just abnormally dry. So we're doing good. Our outlook is good through the end of the year. So seeing that we don't have too much rain this week, maybe a quarter or a tenth of an inch, a downpour or two could produce a third of an inch on some spots along and east of I-95, where we could see a couple strong storms later Tuesday into Tuesday night. But not too bad this week. We kind of get our rain chances done under 24 hours or so, Tuesday into Tuesday night. Charlene says fall is fantastic. I'm so glad you can enjoy it, Charlene. And Lita, any idea about rain next weekend? Lita, if you're just tuning in, I was just saying, while I was loving the idea of giving you a sneak peek at temperatures for next Saturday, the context is we could see a sprinkle or shower. Can't rule it out Friday through Sunday. We're kind of maybe getting crunched between two cutoff low pressure systems. Likely we stay in a channel of really good weather for the weekend. Just can't guarantee it as much as I want it and you want it, Lita. We have good temperatures to offer you and probably dew points that are very comfortable and not humid. So maybe have a plan B in the back of your mind if you have very sensitive plans that are very sensitive to rain showers. But overall, I say I give you the green light for good outdoor time, awesome time next weekend. I'm preparing to do the same, so hope you can as well. All right, we've got rain next weekend. That's low confidence, but should be light if any happens. And then David says 2 more names in the tropics until we switch to the new name system. Yes, indeed. Let's look at that really quick. Here's our current list. We're down to Victor as our next named storm in the tropical Atlantic. Should we go past Wanda, the World Meteorological Organization, the WMO, has a standby backup list for this year, and it starts with Adria. There is the A's. So no longer Greek alphabet. That's been retired now. They have a backup list of names. So hopefully we don't get there, but it is still active in the tropics through perhaps mid-October. That's when there's a secondary peak of activity. After the initial peak, the main peak of hurricane season was around September 10th, September 11th. So as you can see here, disturbances, the National Hurricane Center is watching. We're watching Sam, which should stay out to sea, and the latest there at CWG.news/tropics right here next to my shoulder. So go there at capitalweathergang.com. Anytime you need us, I'm Camden Walker for capitalweathergang.com. Thanks for joining for these weekly Sunday sunset chats, these Q&As. Let me know if you have any questions as I go back to show you the week at a glance and quickly that our sunset is getting earlier and earlier. But thanks for joining me on these weekly earlier and earlier Sunday sunset chats on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm Camden Walker for capitalweathergang.com. I appreciate you following us, and 24/7 though we can help you out at capitalweathergang.com. And yep, I'm going to flash a nice day for you tomorrow, and that's so much what we want to highlight in our Capital Weather latest forecast, CWG.news/latest, that the rain chances are kind of isolated on Tuesday night. We've got this cold front that's trying to move through, and yes, it could bump up our dew points briefly Tuesday and Tuesday night into mid-60s, kind of uncomfortable territory, but it's brief. This front brings some showers and storms. It's our main weather maker this week. It's our only rain chance this week, Tuesday into Tuesday night. A couple strong storms possible. We're keeping an eye on that along I-95 and points east, but it doesn't add up to too much. Maybe a third of an inch this week we could see, and really the rain chances are again focused on Tuesday into Tuesday night, so it doesn't add up to too much. Don't want to oversell that we could see a couple strong storms, maybe some downpours. Hail, gusty winds over 58 miles per hour could cause spotty damage, but it's not worth being anxious about, not worth planning around. The chances aren't there, the confidence isn't high enough there yet, but we wanted to flag it for you so you stay weather aware and kind of check in with us maybe tomorrow on capitalweathergang.com. All right, Joanna is loving fall. I love all those emoji. Fall is fantastic, says Charlene. Yes, indeed. I hope I've answered your questions. I'm Camden Walker, about to sign off. Again, nice day tomorrow. I'm flashing for you. Please get out for a long lunch if you can. Our latest forecast from CapitalWeatherGang.com is at CWG.news/latest. I'm Camden Walker. Have a really good week. It's going to be super autumnal after this cold front brings us showers and storm chances on Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even the weekend. We'll watch for the potential of some raindrops, but not worth worrying about just yet because confidence is low. We should be pretty comfortable for days on end after our cold front moves through Tuesday night late. So with that, happy fall, and just to try and enjoy yourselves this week and stay a little weather aware with a couple strong storms possible later Tuesday into Tuesday night. We'll keep you posted at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Charlene, you have a great week as well. And Doris, I'm glad you're biking to take advantage of this weather too. Take care and see you about 10 minutes earlier for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat.